I'm James C. Williamson. I'm the producer.
I am Ryan Kruger, the director.
And Gareth Place, the director of photography.
Cool. So this scene is originally for me, it was my reference for like Simon Bates in like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. You know, when he used to sit there and watch a VHS in the UK, rented a video out. It'd always be at the beginning of the movie. You would always get this, and everybody would always, read it through as he's going, or would just fast forward it. So I thought it was a great reference to put in this style of movie that we were making. And Dion Lott's great actor.
I like it when he says high impact sexual violence. I think that
thank you,
really
dude.
sets the tone for the film.
Yeah, good flavor.
Oh, Nick Mace Films.
Who are those guys?
Who
What
are
do they
those
do?
guys? Ooh,
Department of
ASP.
Special Boys.
Special boy.
So the shot's really, really important because it shows that the movie takes place on Earth. Because with a lot of movies, it's very confusing. Like, are they on Mars? Are they on Venus? Are they inside someone's head?
Really wanted to paint a picture for people.
Yeah.
I also kind of feel like we know that something extraterrestrial sort of coming.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I also think with the start, like what James said in this, it just sets. You don't know what you're in for. You're watching this Gary Green.
And Hazer giving me goosebumps.
Yeah,
right?
Hazer was just amazing, and Krista Santos, South African director, amazing director. He does a lot of visual effects, so he did this scene.
He knows his way around a computer, that's for sure. Ryan wanted to do everything in camera, so we actually shot this in space.
Yeah, we had to save up a lot of money
It's
to.
the most expensive shot in the movie by far.
Sucked for me, bro. I had to actually get out there.
It's cold. What a
Fucking
space
good.
though. Very roomy.
You had to buy a new spacesuit and everything. Right, Barry.
So this actually picks up right where the short film ended. So he was
Yeah,
literally just in a warehouse now doing some heroin.
it's Gary with his alien nails.
And Carl
So-
Schmidt, is Carl Schmidt bringing some fury on the Trinity. It was
Yeah.
just super nice to work with the Trinity.
Yeah, we shot that about 10 times this all in
That's-
one take.
Yeah, it's a long onesie.
But I think we were saved. Afterwards, we had the idea of recutting those things what he's just previously done.
And I find it quite interesting. Like originally, we obviously had the the backlight coming through, and it actually worked better holding back and keeping the tones quite muted. Like
I remember
This
Carl
was actually
just-
wasn't this the first week of shooting as well?
yeah. I remember Carl was just sweating. Just
Yeah.
doing this 5 to 10 minute takes.
yeah. I added that right at the end.
I love this location so much. It's very, very Bad Boy Bubby. This is a
Gritty.
It's like a student digs that we found,
Yeah.
and it was just one of the dirtiest places we could find.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
why we
yeah,
loved
so
it.
if you guys are watching this, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
we're
your
sorry.
place was dirty.
Woodstock weasels.
This scene always annoys me a little bit because Gary's already chewing before he starts eating.
Yeah, but he looks so angry, dude.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fucked off,
And Chanel Diego, such a
Fantastic.
actress, and she brings a lot of heart to the movie.
Oh yeah, bro.
You look like you.
And the kid over there, you don't really see him too much, but his sister actually plays the kidnapped girl later
Yeah.
on in the movie.
And even he was great. We struggled a little bit getting a few shots, but his mom, she was so cool and so chilled out about the whole movie.
Yeah. Big shout out to the Detmer family. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Yo, nice language, Gary.
Buddy, baby, please, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's so good, bro. And you just see it she just gains momentum. She gains so much momentum through the piece.
Yeah, no, definitely.
This is a lot of production design money here on that fence.
Well done, Alex Osterich. Finally got it.
Oh yeah, we shot this in the
Yeah,
movie.
on the movie.
And Tux and Jenna. I think this guy's he's got a good career ahead of him. Tux, he's definitely got something.
And if you're watching this for the first time and you think these characters are gonna play into the plot later, you are dead wrong.
Yeah. Bye.
And that wig that Jenna's wearing.
I mean, this just we put this in because we wanted to establish human Barry a bit more.
Yeah, just
you know?
like he's this total bastard, and you know the type of people he mixed with. And Jenna Sarah's also not a constantly working actress. She's always
And she plays two
she's-
roles in this
yeah,
movie.
and she's just always up for it. And she's always just up for doing like.
And
cool
these
shit.
kids, this is great, man. I loved how these kids. This
These
is
were
completely
Gareth's
natural.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just popped out of nowhere. I think there was just us three shooting that day.
And my favorite, one of my favorite guys here, Sadiq.
The Prophet.
And this guy dresses like this on a daily basis. This is what he wears like all the time.
Yeah.
If you know Cape Town, South Africa, he works at the Labia Cinema.
I mean, we at the Standard Hotel in Cape Town, and it's crazy. I actually shot Gary Green many years before in
Yeah,
this
yeah, I
exact
remember you
same
said.
location. So it was, but he was on the other side of the bar. He was the bartender, and here he is having a dope.
All
Moving
coming
up,
full
G-Man.
circle.
Yeah, full circle, man.
Lots of people shoot at this bar in Cape Town. I'm not sure why it's so popular. But
Oh,
It's
you
great,
can-
dude.
what do
It's
you
all
mean?
of
You
wood.
can see it, really, like that massive
wood.
big
Yeah,
key
but it's all
behind
that
him.
old
You
school
know?
like wood.
Look how soft the light is, wrapping around them. We've just got this huge window, and it creates almost like this weird security that's offset by this craziness. I mean, how's this guy's story?
Yeah. So when I was writing this script for Paul, I was just doing some research, and I had this idea, and I just found all this information, like on the whole Mickey Mouse thing and everything. But I thought it was like such an interesting, talk, conversational piece. But originally, I wanted to play this part, and it was just I just wanted to put my head into the directing and not have to worry about all this dialogue. And I'm so happy that I actually didn't do it, because Paul did it so much justice. He's such a character, and he's been busy as well over the past few years, and he's originally like a comedian.
In terms of lensing and whatnot, at this part of the film, I wanted to create a sense of distance from Barry. So we're observing and we're just watching him as Gary, as Bastard Barry. Sorry.
yeah, there's no POVs.
And again, like we'll see the spacing change as we move through the narrative, and we'll see how we.
Yeah, just the character development as we go along, and that's the biggest thing that we wanted, was to establish Barry as this bastard when he's human, and it had to be completely different from when he's an alien. But even as a bastard drug addict Barry, he's still a very still like a quiet guy. He's got a lot of anger inside him, mixes with the wrong people.
There's Ben in the background. He's our stills photographer. He's also plays about 5 or 6 roles in the movie.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He was outside the club. He was inside the club.
We'll have a little counter on screen every time we see Ben. Goes Ben.
Yeah, so now we're just watching. We're watching him and slowly.
I mean, fuck, if you're going to inject that heroin in your veins when it's bubbling like that, would be good. And when we shot this, this was actually in the prop house. It was in like a little room in the prop house, and our production designer, Monica, we just pulled all this random stuff from her place, and she had this like office upstairs, and we just made this like little flat.
Yeah, we resisted to add too much, and you can see that again through the whole piece, just simplicity, motivation.
I'll say it again, and Gary's just got this look, man. And this is why.
The way the light falls on his face.
Yeah,
it's-
I mean, you
makes
can't.
the movie.
It's impossible to make Gary not look good. He just looks so good when you shoot him.
There's
Such
a
a character.
there's a mode on the Red we use. It's for focus. It's called edge mode, and it just highlights the edges of the image. And every time I'd go into it, out pops a White Walker. I mean, Gary's just got the White Walker vibe down, man.
It's
Don't
chiseled.
you think? Chiseled. made for the screen.
Yeah.
This was a fun shoot. Do you remember this, Gareth? The underwater shoot?
Oh man,
So the thing is with this, you can jump in here as well, but what you know, we wanted Gary to like, you know, fall into the water. So Gareth had to take a breath, go down in the water, and Gary had to fall in. And I said to Gary, you got to blow all the air out so you sink to the bottom. And he was, every time we fell in, he was taking a breath and he was just bobbing like a piece of shit on the top of the water. And I'm like, Gary, what the fuck are you doing? You got to blow your air out. And then in the end, we put like a belt on him with weights just so like
helped him out.
just so he would sink.
I love this shot because
Yeah.
we had basically finished shooting this scene, and then Gareth was quickly like, "Oh, let's just quickly tag a tracking shot." And then we were like, "Oh, okay." I don't know if we have time, but we ended up doing it, and then it became the main shot of the scene.
And this is a heavy night, guys. But thank God I had my main homie Julian Robinet. Go check him out on Instagram. He's a phenomenal DP from Germany. But yeah, he you can see his pace with Gary is phenomenal.
It's all one take. It was
And
great.
ISFX guys, I mean, well done. Look at that nice soft smoke.
Yeah, I mean, James stressed a lot this day. I mean, we had these massive fans either side, like
Oh.
huge fans blowing either side of the road. We had all the smoke. And again, like James said before, you know, with going, you know, we wanted everything to be in camera. I mean, we could have easily shot this like green screen, but I was like, I love like in camera tricks.
Yeah.
We got a crane there to lift them up.
And that gave me a lot to do. I had to figure out a rig that would be able to act as a spaceship, you know, and feel 80. So
We had a lot of fun shooting this.
yeah, so we
Yeah.
went from an HMI mold beam over there, and we actually gone into a T20 here and a T10. So we had some nice heavyweight tungsten lighting. That flash over there, we've got a nice red
This
streak
is
filter that we've
this
aligned.
is Gary jumping on a trampoline, and we shot this with the Phantom.
Yeah, this is again Carl Schmidt helping us out.
This whole sequence is 99% all practical.
Yeah, and all those
in-camera.
little bits in the background, that's actually off the polyboard. It's all that polystyrene.
And we also shot everything completely different to the rest of the film. So I wanted this to feel more dreamlike. So we went with some Cook SGs, and yeah, we used a host of different equipment here. I mean, split diopters with some undercranking. This is all green screen over here,
And
This is-
Tambi there.
There's me.
and then
There's
these
James.
in-camera flares are just what combine it. You know, it really brings fury into the look.
Kevin Mahoney.
I love this. It's one of my favorite
Absolutely
shots.
fantastic. Flew him down from Joburg for the day, and we were like, hold this red orb.
Yeah, we got him on, he did his part, and we're like, okay, fuck off. It felt like that, but it wasn't really like that. But he was like, he did his thing, he got in the car, got back on the plane straight away. So it was like quite.
I think he
quick.
was really confused at the time.
And this bit,
The Dick
so
Destroyer.
I built this, the Dick Destroyer. I went to Melton Market, it's like a car boot sale. And I just gathered all these bits and I made this,
So that
the Dick Destroyer.
here we with white pro mists, wide. Again, jamming the undercranks and the split diopters.
Yeah, and this was Gary was petrified of these lasers. He thought it was gonna like burn all his organs. Such a trooper to be on all fours there, getting the.
Thank God we had that
Anal.
tungsten lighting to keep him warm. Naked
Yeah,
ball
yeah.
alone in the studio.
Yeah,
Of the electric worms back there. Classic.
I love this image. It's so iconic. Like that's Barry. It's so cool.
Better, faster, stranger.
Yeah, I'm proud to say that's all in camera, guys.
All in camera. This is my ET/Terminator shot, looking over the city.
That's the Signal Hill in Cape Town.
Gary's trapped, guys. He's trapped
Trapped
inside the
behind
alien.
the glass. And here we go. This is the poster image.
Yeah, there it is.
And it's, again, simple. We've got a lovely little yellow gel on an LED high up there, and we're utilizing a lot of the available light.
Yeah, the yellow sodium lamps, which you don't see in a lot of big cities anymore. It's mostly changed to LEDs
I love
now.
that. It's
And you can see
so
the
cool.
dragon sensor shining here. It's really got a gritty, you know, a gritty.
This was your
to the
friend,
score.
that extra.
Yeah, that's my childhood friend Chris Walton, one of my best mates. With Gabby the dog.
Was it Gabby?
Gabby.
Gabby. Name
So
your
we've
dog
moved
Gabby.
on now, like into obviously Barry's done, and now, as I said earlier, you could see that we're observing. Here, we've definitely stepped into his space. We're accommodating
There's
that with
Ben.
the wider
There's Ben.
lenses. The movement's jarring. It's Barry.
Barry, well,
Alien
Barry Vision. Talon and Sabine coming up here, having a nice little argument. I mean, just
I like what he says at the end now.
This guy looks fucking weird.
The little
I mean-
skits are great, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is what makes the world feel alive. Is all these good minor characters that just
Yeah,
pop
you-
in and out. You know, very Coen Brothers.
What's up, Nick? I went to college with Nick. His actor on the right hand side. Man, he's grown. He's
Doing well.
doing very well. He's very devoted, man. I can
He
see
just did that thing with Brendan. What is it? Brendan Fraser. Look at Gary, man. That face, man. I love it. Such a character. Such a presence. And Billings in the background there. I've worked with Billings for many, many years. He's done a lot of music videos and short films with me.
His character is named Charlie Cocaine.
Jolly Cocaine.
Everybody must realize this is Sea Point in Cape Town, and it's had some rough times and some good times, and we're definitely exploring the
darker side.
darker side of Sea Point.
And Billings, that Charlie Cocaine, the reason why I call him that, because in Liverpool, we would walk down the street and there was always these guys, we go, Charlie Cocaine, Charlie Cocaine. And still, this is like very, this scene and going up to the club now, it's all like the Terminator references,
Yeah, you
Just
don't
that,
know.
like,
Is
looking
he,
around.
is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? What's happening?
It's my favorite bar in Cape Town, the Movable Feast.
So this bartender, his character is kind of based on like Nollywood movies, but specifically based on one particular actor.
Yeah, was that line? What was that? There was that thing.
His name's Sam Loco, the late Sam Loco, and yeah, it's just known for these hilarious one-liners.
There's Blade Me in the background.
It's nice that you guys brought that into it, because I mean Cape Town in South Africa, Central Africa plays a huge part in our culture here.
Better close your mouth.
Yeah, this is my little small little
Cameo.
bit, little cameo.
This is
I'm a
actually the
Scouse
real.
African.
This is the real Ryan.
It's not the real me. This is what I think.
I mean, it's crazy we all cameoed in this actually.
Yeah, it was great. Well, if you remember, you guys were before me, and you guys were going, oh, when are you gonna do what are you gonna do? And then I decided to do this. This scene actually went on a little bit longer originally, but we cut it shorter, which was the right decision because it felt like too much about me and not about Barry, and that's why we do this little, moving there in post onto Gary. I need to go take a shit. And you're coming with me.
No, I'm not. I know what happens in that bathroom. Oh shit, this happens.
I've actually got a really nice
there's
my-
Easter egg here. That piece of paper back there.
Yeah, you don't know this, dude.
Gareth doesn't know this.
This is he's giving us the eye, so we're not gonna say nothing.
Anyway, look close at that piece of paper. That's all I'm saying.
Don't look at the paper.
And this guy's a casting director, great casting director for like commercials and stuff. Funny guy. I love the way Barry just like watches, and the other guy he won't even stop because it's like
What's up to,
there was actually
Mav
there was a
Degoli?
few ideas that we had with this, but the moment where he's looking. And he sees Barry and he doesn't want to stop. Like my friend in the UK told me the story, and I just wanted to put that little moment in there where basically the guy's getting a blowjob, but he doesn't want to stop because he wants to finish his moment. And that was like a friend that worked in like Asda, and his manager like caught him getting him a blowjob in the back room.
So guys, there's like huge Cape Town history there. Call it Pizza. Shout out to those guys, mad party guys. And we had Evil now.
Great
Yeah.
club, very
Sticky.
very sticky. Suits the film so perfectly.
I think when we rocked up there was a pentagram on the dance floor with like candle wax all over it, and I was like, what the fuck happened here last night?
This place is like the type of place where like it's the ceiling sweats and drips.
Everybody's been to Evil at 4 a.m.
This is
That's
a.
James's Joel. That's
I love this lensing here, G.
Yeah, so
I love that shot. I know James
so
loves that shot.
this I pulled the reference when Ryan said I had to give a little bit of a dog to human traffic, and here it is, man. Like my whole life we loved it, and it was great to shoot something similar.
Yeah, Josh Greason, great musician, amazing musician. So passionate and
You know
hard
these
when he
little
sings.
pink, sorry man, these little pink sweets, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, South African relevance at its finest.
Yeah, what was the sweets?
I don't know what they're called,
They're
but my
called
mom used to call them
Senties.
Frofeniekers, which is like, I think, a cheating mother or something. But like everybody knows those little sweets in South Africa.
So our composer made this song in addition
amazing.
to 90% of the other music in the film.
This was a fun scene to shoot. I mean, especially when he's holding onto the camera.
Yeah, the challenge was just like
And
limited
he's sweating.
extras, you know, and
Yeah.
we had to make it feel like
Yeah.
it was
I
banging.
mean,
and
when we started this scene, we had only had a few extras turn up, and then the next time I'm like, James, we got to ring all these people, and then luckily James and his assistant started ringing everybody, and then everybody was just there in the end, which was great.
you know, Gary gave, hey Brandon, what's up? But Gary gave, he gave huge nails here, man. Look at him.
Yeah.
That is real sweat.
I was
That's
just
not
telling him,
makeup.
I was like, bite through the walls, man, bite through the walls.
It was so funny.
He's holding onto camera,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, I
like
had that,
Raging
like-
Bull, you know, it's
I-
Raging Bull.
Yeah,
You know?
I had like tissue on Gary's head.
All these moments, I mean, texture, bro.
I mean, it's like one of those. I think we've all been there in a club, and you're sitting there, and somebody you can't hear, and somebody's. It's not important what he's saying, but if you actually listen to what he's saying, it's funny. But it's one of those things where somebody's, raging on about something, and you have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
especially if you're melting like Gary. there.
That is not special effects. That is Gary Shaw.
This is the first time Fried
All
Barry speaks in the
these.
movie.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that actually.
This is his first experience of learning the English language. Talking to this dude.
So I have like a secret confession to announce here. Like I have an addiction of like
There's Ben.
finding old gels. I've had so many like gaffers, and up and coming lighting techs and whatnot, digging through the dustbins looking for offcuts. And I'm proud to say that a lot of these colors were actually founded on a lot of the features that have been shot in Cape
I
Town.
know you
recently.
said that. That's
So
pretty
this
cool.
this is actually from Mad Max. This color, like I know that for sure.
Oh.
This and the yellow from earlier, yeah.
Wow.
Scaled them when I was a student, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is our good friend Walter. He's a really good up and coming filmmaker and writer.
Walter. We need to shoot that film of like Walter and Simon battle to the death.
Slow cook Sam.
No man, I live around the corner, it's closer.
So this is another great example where Barry mimics. So he takes the odd word, and then the conversation actually kind of makes sense to the other person.
People that give a shit. They're just like, I don't care what you're saying. I'll just fucking
take the drugs.
take you home.
Well, people are all out for themselves in this time.
Yeah, she was horny for Gary. Barry.
This is Ryan's apartment.
This is my apartment.
Which-
Before the bathroom got redone.
Looks amazing, actually.
She's not in my bathroom, though.
Monica did a great job on the production
Yeah.
design here.
Yeah, when
Looks
Monica did the
looks
production
better than
design
it does
here,
now.
It did. Fucking does. That's why I was like with Monica, hey, can I get some of this stuff off you? Like, my place looks nice. I like the lamps and the cushions. Looks cozy.
You like what you see?
Flat walls are just working, yeah.
Always the shy ones, isn't it?
And this footage in the background was actually one of my friends that did a porno back in the day. His own camera, which I thought was funny.
I want you to fuck.
This little Easter egg.
A little Easter egg. John Williams, that's his name.
Come on.
We did blur that out a little bit extra,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
is
yeah.
quite present in the top left
Yeah.
of the screen.
Come on.
But that's the feel. That's,
Indeed.
that's
Millions
the
of
grit.
people are watching that every day.
Now, very important. She uses
Yeah.
a condom
She
here.
uses a condom.
Now,
And just always remember, always safety first. Always use a condom.
Bologna
is-
flavored
this is
condom.
very important for later.
Egg flavored. So this scene
It's
also,
There's also no spunk in the scene, you know?
yeah,
So
well, it's
the-
all in the
because
condom. That's why.
exactly.
So what annoys me, like some people, watch this and go, yeah, but she's got her panties on, but it's always like, it's that little panty to the side.
Yeah, she's
It's like
not
she's
there
moved
for
that
the,
little.
she's not there for the loving,
Wham,
bro.
bam, thank you, ma'am. Get in
She's
there.
got an itch to scratch.
Move
Yeah.
that little thumb to the side.
There's Brandon's mimic, the DJ's mimic.
Yeah. Some people don't get onto that either, because she's like, for fuck's sake, make some noise, and it's the same as the DJ go, make some noise, and he's like, whoa.
You see, we flipped the rule there. You could see that last shot with the projector. We're actually shooting, we broke the rule, but it's so sweet how we suddenly like isolated with Gary in the scene, and he's just looking up in the projector. We can really see it from his perspective,
Yeah.
or feel it from his perspective.
Because, I mean, he's not really a willing participant in whatever's going on here.
And here
He's just
again,
letting it happen to him.
And here again, he's like, you kind of left with the awkwardness.
We want to put this in, but it looks like there's a person in the background there. So it looked like almost like continuity, like it was her like watching as he got thrown out, but that was like purely by mistake. I love these shots of the town. Like I haven't really seen Cape Town shot like that. I mean, this whole film, there's so many people that come to South Africa to shoot in Cape Town for like different countries, or you get local films and they make it look, all beautiful and stuff. And, I also wanted to make Cape Town and shoot it South Africa in a completely different way. And, and that's what me and Gareth spoke about. We wanted to shoot a side of Cape Town that we haven't seen before, and it's not so beautiful.
We didn't want it to be too like too dirty in the sense that it's grubby. We still needed to have these neons inside of it, because it still needs to be alien. It still needs to be motivated by
Sorry, we need to talk about this. This is Gareth's cameo.
Yeah,
In
this is
case you
Gareth's
don't know,
cameo.
this is our
the
DOP.
Alex helping me out there.
I fucking love this part. I always laugh my head off.
It's such a
so
good
much.
character.
But I mean, this was supposed to be the leaving line, so like I
Yeah.
overdid the leave off.
Yeah. Yeah, this line was supposed to be replayed later in the film, but
Yeah.
we ended up taking it out, but it still plays beautifully here.
I pulled this out of my mind as Memoirs of a Geisha. It's the blinds, the feel, the silhouettes. It's felt right,
Just felt right, man.
This, again, is at our production designer's prop house.
Yeah.
This
It was
is
great. It looks so beautiful.
She just has all the things, man.
I was talking about the production design.
So
Bia, I love Bia. She's so amazing. She's such a great artist. She's always up for for art and
and she's so
and,
busy, man.
Yeah, and she's constantly working, and she rocks it every time. Like she's such a trooper. Like I mean, to do this is just is amazing. It's not an easy task, and she does all this amazing like body paint work and everything. And I just love those people that are passionate about what they do, and she's always.
You look through the viewfinder with Bia, like as a DP, and some peeps just have refined edges that just really come to life through the lens, and she's definitely one of those actresses.
And when we originally were talking about the scene, this was supposed to be her only scene, her character. And
Yeah,
then we would never see her again.
Yeah, we wrapped her. We wrapped it after this, and then it was only later on we were like, "Fuck." We got that, got the idea for Baby Barry to come back and do it, and I thought that would be absolutely fucking amazing and so
guys,
random.
I love this scene, and I love that. I mean, kudos to you, Ryan. When you handed me this, it was just like, it was a buffet, bro. Like an all-you-can eat buffet.
And we went a little bit over time when we were shooting this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember how long it took to do this.
It took very long.
Did it? I can't remember. But I know that we built. There was like 3 prosthetic stomachs that I actually had to put on Bia, to show the growing process.
I mean, all departments really had to come together for this one, guys. Like, good editing,
Yeah,
good prosthetics.
sound
And
and
great.
that squirt from between the legs is actually funny enough. Is me with a little tube shooting stuff out.
We had a squirt rig, but it didn't quite
didn't
give
work.
us the consistency
No,
we
they were
needed.
So don't say I
so-
just like volunteered for that. Like you guys are like, you're gonna have to put it in your mouth. This was actually a real baby being born.
We shot that at your house, remember?
Yeah, the close up. It was actually shot maybe a fucking year later. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was just the vagina shot of the baby coming out.
You got Marty about to come in here.
He like really said vagina there.
Vagina. VJ. Baby's
What?
dead.
Feel the confusion,
I love Marty. Like, I think
Good
it's like
guy.
2 lines, but great little performance there.
And I like this. I like this look. It's look at Gary. Gary looks at him. He looks at her, and then he looks at his dick, and then looks back at Gary, and he's like, "Get out."
Marty, this is so brilliant, man.
Yeah.
It's shout out to Marty.
And shout out to Cosmesis.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
for
Of
the
course,
baby
man.
as well. Yeah.
And that beautiful penis in the abduction.
Beautiful. Penis.
I think they were probably very confused when we gave them the list of prosthetics we needed.
Yeah.
This is actually a VFX shot,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Believe it or not, look at all those stars.
Oh yeah, the
Love that. It's
Ari,
very,
the
very
Ari-
Western.
This is the Ari lightweight zoom. It's a totally overlooked little piece of
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna draw.
Oh, there's me again doing a little cameo.
James in the car.
Angry
And me.
driving man.
I mean, oh, this was great. The 2 gentlemen walked past at one moment. You remember? And they looked and they said, "Hey, RoboCop."
Yeah, so one of these takes the because we said that Gary looks a bit like RoboCop, and then just randomly on that day, the people who walked past him, Gary, they didn't see us filming, and the one guy just goes, "Hey, RoboCop." It's Vortex. And when you watch this movie, you're not going to want to come to Cape Town, whoever's listening. But Cape Town's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful place. I think every city in the world has the bad areas and bad sides and places where you don't go. But Cape Town is a beautiful place. That's why the 3 of us still live there.
Robin there, he's a great South African actor. He's
Yeah.
been in lots of big films.
He was in that Schuster movie years ago. Lipstick, Dipstick.
Oh my
He was in
gosh.
that. He was like the security guard in
Oh
that.
my gosh, that
It's like
is
iconic South African
hilarious.
movie. Great guy. I love his voice though. He's got such a deep voice.
So we workshopped this a little bit on location as well. And I wanted to drop the Frankenstein hand here. You can see the holster shot.
Yeah, this is my like Halloween sort of shot. It's just like him just watching. Just watching.
What a weird couple, bro.
That is the
Tall and short and...
I love you. I love you.
that is the
How
same
did he
baby
get
that
it?
we used for the birth as
Yeah,
well.
it's the same baby. Yeah, I like those little dogs in the background. Some production value. Leon Klingman.
Oh, yeah.
Leon is such a great actor. He's one of those people that needs to do more stuff, but he's been busy over the years. But he needs to do. He's such an underrated actor. He's like such a great guy. Yeah, he's a great
No, but he's so awesome to work with.
Yeah, he knows his shit, dude.
No,
Like, he's a very, very talented actor.
Yeah,
I actually
he's
told him, I said, dude, grow a mustache, you'll get more work. He grew his mustache. I'm not even joking. He wouldn't stop. He didn't stop working because he
Yeah.
needed that just like little bit of edge, a little bit of character to him, and he rocks that mustache.
The conflict, man. So brilliant. Like, opposing pulls, The
And
influence.
I love this where you were shooting this, Gareth. It's just, I didn't think it would work, but the beginning bit, but it's just so nice that, he's
Like
just on the side.
for me, these moments, I normally draw a lot of energy from City of God. Funnily enough, like City of God is they really got that cinematic handheld floating. You know, it doesn't disengage you. Yo, Carl, thanks for these guys came out and did the car rig for us last second. Thanks, Carl. Carl Frederick.
I love this bit. I'm a good mother, and then the baby's not in the back. It's like, fucking gonna have to go.
How those
go back home.
reflections, the whip, yeah.
Oh,
So this
The
is actually
setup.
a
world record.
It's a
isn't it?
world record shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the longest uncut shot in a film of someone eating a boerewors roll.
I'm proud of that.
So Guinness,
Proud
if
of
you're
that.
listening,
So earlier again, I keep discussing the lensing and the spacing. Here we are, very different to the last time we were in the kitchen. We're sitting with Gary, you know, right with him, and you'll see in a second that we've set up for the reveal of what
Yeah.
you know, on what knowledge this is going to impart, and how.
And people, sorry to cut you
No,
off there.
no
And
worries.
what people don't know about Barry is that he's actually a vegan. He doesn't eat any like meat. He tries stuff and then like spits shit out. And like now he didn't eat the wors. He's just eating the bread. But he also doesn't know what to do with the stuff. So he's just like puts it all in his mouth, chews it up, and then starts to like spit it out.
he sees that guy earlier eating the boerewors roll, so he has a rough idea, but he doesn't
I think
quite nail it.
if you remember, we were gonna like maybe cut to it, and we're like, oh no, that would be shit.
People gonna be lucky listening
Yeah.
to the commentary just to like start seeing these little
Yeah,
links,
little
you
things
know.
that connected and stuff.
And there it was. So we teed up for that shot. I mean,
It
that's
took a while to get that little facial expression.
That's
I
a
must admit.
great reaction, though.
Yeah,
Just the
great,
little-
yeah, it
the
will.
little tweak in the eyebrows.
how lucky were we guys, hey?
Yeah,
That doesn't happen all the time with children, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've worked with so many kids, and it's only every now and then there'll be something you want so simple, and it just goes on forever. I mean, with
Listen to that. Hazer, bro.
yeah,
Listen
yeah.
to that, guys. Like, can you?
Dun, dun, dun.
This is such an indie scene. This is like a Sundance
And,
scene.
and even when we were doing this, we were just rolling, and we didn't know how much we were going to get. So I said to Gary, just keep feeding him. Just keep feeding him. If you remember, it just went on for ages. He was just like, meh, just putting it in his mouth like the whole time. But yeah, again, Gareth, that music coming through from Hazer is like, I love you. It's just so good, and it's
It just gives you the rhythm, man.
yeah.
Just sets the rhythm for you. You can slow down and feel the change.
Oh no, not another sex scene.
Again, Barry there mimicking what he saw in the park. So he gave her a little peck on the back of the neck and then said, I love you in his very unique way.
Safe sex, everybody.
Again, there, very important. Note the condom. That's the message of the film.
And if you do want to buy Fry Barry condoms, you can always go on the website.
They're
They have
on
different
sale
flavors.
now. www.fryberry.com/merch.
We have Polony, Egg, Martin Evans, brilliant comedian.
This is a reference to another movie, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember now.
I love Gary's face there. He's just like, where the fuck
Yeah.
am I?
And yeah, well, I remember it was, with this grade and stuff. And I remember there was a scene cut out of My Own Private Idaho with Phoenix when he just goes into the shop, and it was following him and stuff like that. But I love that like little deleted scenes from other movies. But I always wanted to like shoot like just like a random little scene in an actually busy like supermarket. But we can't. We didn't like this too much, did we? I'm trying to remember. I don't think we did.
We didn't light it, or like it.
No, did we use lots of lights for that? I can't remember.
Yeah, no. Well, jeez, that was up to me, bro.
And then
No, but we did. We used some portable, nice LED sources. Very lucky to be working in the future nowadays. Yeah, but just supplementary, you know.
yeah, and this is James sitting here with us,
This is me.
producer.
Funnily enough, I think he told me his nickname is actually Cheese.
Yeah, his nickname
It's a-
was
it's a-
actually Cheese.
It's a funny
So
little
very
coincidence
ironic.
that my childhood nickname was Cheese. It's almost like it was destiny.
It's destiny. But he did amazing. The funny thing was this other actor was meant to play it, and there's vegan Barry again. This other actor was meant to play it, and he didn't turn up. But it was meant to be this awkward little like Napoleon Dynamite character, but you know, in a funny way, and it did such a amazing job.
Barry, come on, man. I've been walking around and around for days in the store. Come.
And the whole thing with Barry, like, I love this little thrust, yeah. And
Chick passed out in the background.
the other thing, what we put in there was like Barry, you know, also getting lost in the supermarket, and it's that very like childlike way. You know, we all went to the supermarket with our family at some point and just lost them in the shop, you know. And you would look around for ages and they just wouldn't find it. And she was great. Like,
Oh
it was
my
so
gosh,
funny.
guys! There were a couple of
Emily.
scenes in the film that like you couldn't touch the camera. You were laughing, man. Like the whole crew right now is just
Oh, we
packing
were
up and walking away.
Because the funny thing is,
She's
I had
so
this,
cute.
you know, I had this note to do this scene the one way, and then I was like, "Fuck, you know what? We actually should do it completely different." And it was, the tone was completely different, and it wasn't those sex references. And then I thought, "Oh, we got to do it." And as soon as we did that shot, all of us, we were counting ourselves. Like, as soon as we called action, we were just like laughing our heads off, like so much.
I mean, she's a heavyweight in Warrior, man. Like she's very good in Warrior.
I really,
Yeah,
I still
dude.
haven't seen that yet.
Oh my gosh!
I haven't even seen my. Yeah, I haven't seen. I'm in that as well. I
Oh,
haven't
dude,
even
that
seen
is
it.
they've done well with that show. Yo, we actually shot all of this content. This is actually obviously you see Gary, but
This is what commercials are like, right? This is basically what they're about.
TG Whiskey, which is Gary Green. And this is also another reference to E.T.
yeah, these are
Yeah,
all the
just watch
Spielberg
it.
references.
Yeah.
I think we got it, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Lots of Easter eggs on this TV. Lots
Yeah.
of previous work.
Benin,
Good friend Benin.
Joey Kramer from Flight and the Navigator, 80s cult film, amazing movie, which is cool. He was actually meant to be in the movie at one point, and yeah, he couldn't come down, so we somebody was making a documentary of him at the time, so we got some footage and we put it on the TV.
We also
This is,
shot this, and Gareth, I gotta say, you nailed this.
Yeah,
you nailed this.
Nailed it.
So
I love
legit.
the timepieces, man. Yeah, and good out to Kelsey Egan, well done, man.
Yeah, and Colin, like both of them were just like, it was like legit, dude. It was like a legit like American black
Guys,
and
I
white
could shoot
movie.
I'll do a whole one like that, man.
Yeah.
I want to show you something.
Oh, it's gonna be sex again.
Hey, Barry.
He's watching TV, man. Leave him.
But look at the colors, guys. I mean, look at that mustard,
Mustard.
bottle, primary. It's so, I
think-
love the primary feel here. You can feel the kid, right?
You can't talk about the colors in this film without talking about Nick Apostoli.
Oh,
His
yeah.
grade, incredible. Just
Yeah,
transformed
Nick
the
did.
film.
Nick brought the movie to life again. It's just everything just connects to the next thing and heightens every scene and everything. It just, you know, everybody's input and everything just made every scene better.
Technically, we, like I went out there, we weren't sure what we were shooting, how we were going to shoot it, a lot of improv. So I went for a thick negative and then discussed it with Nick and just made sure there was enough room that we could like pull the world together and look, it worked.
You're the only girl for me, honey.
And again, that's the reference from the black and white movie we just watched. This is how Barry sleeps as well, with his eyes open.
Eyes open.
I mean, obviously, this is now it's coming down off drugs, right?
Yeah,
That's the
well,
whole thing. It's
yeah,
like
it's
the
it's
physical.
body. Yeah, it's the physical thing of, what do you call it? The
Withdrawals.
withdrawals.
He's
yeah.
having withdrawals,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also
This already reminds me of a bobsleigh for some reason. He's just like sitting in this bath.
it's a Cool
bobsled,
Runnings
so-
reference, of course.
Yeah, this is our Cool Runnings reference.
Yeah, Cool Runnings reference there. Look how ripped Gary is, though, man. Look at him, dude.
Dude.
This is
And this
another
is
ET,
ET
reference.
reference.
I love this image. Again, indie darling of 2021.
And this is funny, when we actually shot this and Gary runs out in his little tighty whities and his towel, we had so many people just watching going, what the fuck is this guy doing? And we did this a few times. I think, yeah, we didn't do too many times, but it was so, again, like such a physical part and him shaking. And he would get in there, wouldn't he? Like,
Now
you know,
Gary is.
it's hard to when I tell him to do something, and I said you got to do it like this, you got to do it like that. But when he goes into it, like I'll be like cut, and he'll just carry on.
Yeah,
Look how ripped he is, dude.
I haven't seen many actors able to move into this part of their mind. To be honest, this is pure, eh, guys. This is real. This is a Skyhook. Thanks, Graham. You came out.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Graham.
Graham Newton.
That
Appreciate
little
it.
train there. Do you remember we spent ages just trying to get that bit of the train in there.
Yeah, you're right.
You look so good. What's he wearing?
You can see how these wide lenses are just featuring left, right, and center.
Great POV there.
Brett doing his Australian thing.
This is a great location. This really worked out well for us, like the greenhouse.
Yeah, this is an abandoned greenhouse
on a
right
campus,
by
right?
CPUT in Cape Town.
Hey, I ran in Shazza the other day.
And I love Rory in this. He doesn't. He only says yep, yep. But he's so fucking good at it.
Heron, good heron.
I was gonna get him to talk more, and I was like, you know what? It's actually funnier if he doesn't talk and he just says yep, yep.
We ran out of money and she fucking
This is like a silent Bob.
Yeah, no, totally, dude.
Absolutely.
Yep.
on
Yep, yep.
and
It's like me when you talk to me, Gareth. I'm like, yeah, yeah.
And this Australianness really works in the world, man. Like, we can't deny, like, the Commonwealth, you know?
take it all in, take it, take
Yeah.
it in your hand.
And if you look closely, he's literally smoking crack out of a light bulb.
I still got that lighter. Everybody wants to buy it off me. Just
Originally,
shoot me
we
a DM.
originally we wanted the light bulb to light up, and we actually had a light rig set up for that, but
Yeah, it was a little light bulb, a little light inside, wasn't it? A little LED.
Now we're having mad conflict, right? What's going on in Gary? Is the alien is reacting?
Yeah, it's just smoking more shit now, and it's just getting more hectic for him with the withdrawals, and now this is just a bad drug because of also might reacting to the alien as well. This was actually Gary. He
that's
actually
not
did that.
VFX. That
It's
is
not
real.
visual effects. It's real.
Jeez, dude, I'm still.
I love the way Beck's like, "See you later, mate." It's just like gone straight away.
And he does actually see him later.
He does.
Again, this is a great house track from Hazer under his Embassy moniker.
And a lot of this montage was shot at all throughout the movie. It was all different days, wasn't it?
But again, like good motivation. Like, what would you do if you're walking around town and you saw that for the first time?
And this was called. Gary just stood there for fucking ages.
So this was like quite a lot of maths for me. I mean, trying to work out the real-time exposures with those time lapses.
Well, this next shot was interesting because we had to. We had to move. Like,
We're pushing a
every
desert
second.
dolly
Desert
all
dolly,
around
yeah.
the city.
I love
Oh,
this.
brilliant! She's so good.
So good.
There's Asunder and Ra, part of our production staff, sitting in there.
Don't worry, there is a little edge there.
Yeah. And this reference here was from Bobby McFerrin's music video. Don't worry, be happy. I always saw that in the music video, and I was like, oh, I've got to put that in a film one day.
I have to squeeze this in the same day as the space day, dude. Like, assholes.
So this is like a motif, a recurring motif in the movie, is shooting underneath highways.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was so many.
Again, this is how we're framing Cape Town, and Cape Town has so many of these cool, really dingy but aesthetically pleasing looking spots here.
You know, people that drive into Cape Town just drive over these bridges. We're out to show you them dingy corners, guys, so
Yeah.
you don't have to go there.
This is like pretty fucking dark. This scene.
This is pretty dark, but
Yeah.
I remember Barry was wearing his headphones for so long listening to this music, and we are like, fuck, like, you
This
can't
is-
wear them for the whole movie. Like, what are we
Yeah,
going to do
yeah,
with
we
them?
have to get rid of them.
And
Yeah,
then-
we brainstormed that there, bro.
Yeah. But no,
And it's
I love this
sick
moment.
because I mean he's like dying. He's just
And
this
that
music. and
how's
he's
that
just
green gaffer
looking at him.
tape just working with the red there? It's just like, yeah,
But I
That
mean-
wasn't by mistake,
lucky,
people.
yeah, lucky chance.
On this, because I would say to Gary, do exactly what I say. Don't do anything else. Don't improv. And he actually walked and stopped right in front of that wall. And I love this. I love
The
this
trucks,
curves.
yeah,
and
bro.
yeah.
No, these trucks are kicking up that dust. You know, the atmosphere.
Yeah. And this little production value there with all these trucks going past.
You can see the number plate there if you want to find the truck. You can buy it off the website
Part of the website.
for a price of merch.
Again, man, look at Gary, man. Like, he's just got such presence, man. I think he actually tripped over on one of these shots that we actually did originally. Like, where am I going? I'm going out of town.
Literally on the wrong side of the tracks.
The fuck is this?
So in the original script, the character that Alex plays actually asks him for a kiss, but we thought maybe that wouldn't really work because he's supposed to be aggressive and beating him up. So we ended up changing it to a cigarette.
Give me a kiss.
You've got a kiss for me. Kiss for me.
He's talking to you. Yo.
I dig this guy, Sid. And
Yeah, Sid.
Alex there, one of my good friends. Also casting director.
Been chasing a dragon, man. He's so fucking far gone. Do you even realize what the fuck you're doing? Where you are?
Just
That's
fixing it.
Table Mountain in the background.
He's talking to you.
That's our only Table Mountain shot, but
It is.
you know we gotta sneak it in there.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh no hurt, Barry. Oh. I like his hand the way it jumps up. And it's like, Gary, put your hand up. Watch.
I didn't even know about that. That's great.
Well, I had to tell him to do it a few times because it was just like, he just kept his hand up at one point. I was like, just bring it up and then bring it down.
So
Very
he's gonna
important.
die of a heart attack in about 10 years.
He's like, what was that? But I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. I'm just gonna carry on.
That guy touched me funny.
Bro, do you remember that guy we beat up?
Oh yeah. So this shot was actually a car. That was a car shot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was,
we
yeah.
rigged it to my car. Yeah.
Shitty rig shot.
And again with the opening scene with the old 80s reference from me growing up. And this was also, you know, when I'd go to cinema when I was a kid. And they don't do it anymore, you know, they would have those intermissions, you know. So
But
it's just good
people-
to take that break.
People in cinemas have been known to actually get up and leave when this intermission comes
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it happened in at CineQuest in San Jose. Somebody got up, went to the counter to go and get a drink, and then it was closed, so he came back.
But yeah, obviously
But it's
this is
also
a
very Space Odyssey 2001 as well.
2001: A Space Odyssey reference.
I really enjoyed shooting these. It's
Shooting a
lovely.
4x3.
It's lovely, you know, interpreting time and
So the thing is with this, obviously we saw the ad earlier on the TV and we just connected being in Barry's head in his space, you know, being knocked out and, you know, what's going on in his head, and then we see the actual commercial again, but it's Barry in there.
It's a dream sequence, you know, he took quite a knock to the head.
you know, each setup for me, like with the visuals at least, like I treat it as its own separate short film. So I really did break the rules in terms of continuity. I'd use different filters on different scenes just to try and enhance the, you know, the emotion that was being conveyed in whatever setup.
Yeah, it makes, you know, everything's its own vignette. Everything's like its own sort of episode, I guess.
You're going to leave me like the rest of them.
So here's Reese Detmer, the sister of Cruz Detmer, who was Barry's son.
This is definitely one of my favorite locations of the movie. Brilliant location. We actually, when we were shooting here, Ridley Scott was actually shooting the next day when we had to leave.
But we said, Ridley, we're shooting Fried Barry. We need you to pack your shit up and get out of here.
Ridley, pack your shit up and just fucking go.
I mean, fuck, dude, they were really fucking us around, eh? I'm glad you spoke to Ridley like that, dude.
Hey, Ridley.
Hey, Ridley,
Someone has to, you know.
make space, bro.
This
But-
is one of my favorite South African actors.
The great thing about this location is so many people have shot there over the years that there's so much production design and breakdown that's on the walls already.
It's already. We just added all the extra crap and stuff in there.
Oh, here's an Easter egg. So, Johnny, Daddy,
Daddy.
he is inhaling some fumes from unprocessed raw sewage, which is also known as jenkum.
Jenkum.
And
That is James's drug of choice.
it's my favorite, and it gives you a little
I
bit
don't
of
even know how
a
you guys find out about that.
it gives you a little bit of a kick. And
I actually
you know,
don't even wanna know.
that's his jam.
Used to do it in the summer.
Here he's giving Barry's jacket a
Good little
sniff.
sniff. And this jacket. So a lot of the props and wardrobe sometimes in my films and stuff that I do, I always like reuse it. So this jacket that Johnny's wearing, I used it in a music video short film. Alex Anlos wore it for a Monarch music video. Also a great South African band.
We utilized the Movi Pro on this with the ready rig a lot of the time just so we could move fast and get our angles. Shot to Julian again.
We shot everything in this abattoir in 2 days. I think we shot about 8 pages a day.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, I mean the amount of shit we shot in this day would take a normal production like fucking hell, like a shit over a week would definitely. And Reese's little teddy bear there, still got that teddy bear. If you want that teddy bear, drop us a line, and if we've still got it, you can have it.
www.
Johnny is such a cool. I love Johnny. Like I love Johnny so much. I mean, even just yesterday, he rings me up at the most random times, and we just have these like random conversations at night, and we just talk about shit like all the time.
We actually cast a different actor for this role.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
And
I'm not gonna say who.
he is a pretty famous South African actor, but using Johnny in the end was such a win because he played this character in just a way that you didn't expect, and it just ended up being so freaky and weird and unique.
Kind of reminds me of the Joker a little bit. Just the little word.
Sticks in your head though.
Cast Johnny in the next Batman movie.
So some people say, you know, well, me and James or some of the crew, they say, you know, why doesn't the girl like escape? And I actually put this like chain there, and it's actually connected to the girl, but nobody can fucking see that.
But I thought it was Stockholm disease, bro. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
the
mean?
it's the chains
Well, what's
in
that?
her mind.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
could also be
exactly.
that, but the chain was actually put there for a reason.
Daddy is the only one who's immune to Barry's charms. Everyone else thinks Barry's sexy, but
You can see like
Daddy doesn't see that.
in terms of the cinematography, yeah, you can see how invested Johnny is into something there. And I've done that by pushing the camera right over Gary's shoulder. And then doing the opposite with Gary, the disconnect.
And what was funny with this, I think it was on one of the side wide angles we had it. I don't know if we used the actual angle, I can't remember. But when Johnny grabbed Gary's jaw to pretend to take the tooth out, Gary was like, "Ugh!" And I was like, fuck it, it sounds like really good acting. And that was, Gary actually had like a loose tooth or something, so he actually pressed against his like mouth too hard.
They pulled it out for real.
Ah,
This tooth pulling scene was originally in our trailer, but it was deemed too distressing to go onto YouTube.
Oh, no, actually, if you remember with this scene, originally we were meant to do the electric shock thing, remember?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
so
was
we were
supposed
actually, there was going to be
electrocute him with
a
car
number
battery.
of things to drag him through, and I think with time on the day and something, and we also thought it was like a bit of an overkill, so we just decided to go for the good old teeth pull.
iconic shot.
And I like that he adds in, you know, he suspects there's something special about Barry, so he pulls the tooth out to see if it'll grow back.
Feeling quite sot. I don't know about you. It's not the way it used to be. Let's pick this up tomorrow.
Gary's face is great there.
Love that face.
I love this bit. So good.
Yeah, Johnny's vocalizations, he doesn't even need to say words, he just
Yeah.
makes sounds.
Yeah, Johnny's voice sounds like a door creaking, slowly opening. That's what it sounds like. This was actually shot during the day. We actually covered the whole little box there.
day
Yeah,
for
we
night.
put the polyboards up and just made it like night. We had to like block
Yeah, I
all
took
the
a bunch
light out.
of floppies and lined them all up, and we created a nice little dark atmosphere so we could flip to
Yeah, it worked.
to the CTV.
Oh, cuddle up with Barry. Again, I love this music coming in as well. You know, it's starting to get intense.
I hate you right now. I hate you right now. What do you prefer him to be?
And this fucking took forever to hit Johnny in the face. Like, we just did so many takes where I had to be right on, you know, with coordinating the angle was there. It was Gary hitting the wrong spot.
This is, in my opinion, some of the best music in the whole film.
Yeah, and it's great.
It went through a few drafts, but the one we landed on with Hazer, absolutely incredible.
And this was also a little bit of reference to Blade Runner, at the end of Blade Runner, where Rutger Hauer's after Harrison Ford. You know, especially this bit now with Johnny, you know, howling like the wolf.
I felt like I was reaching into a little bit of the Chainsaw Massacre, but just the way that they did the close up, like, you know, silhouette shots of the antagonist moving.
Yeah. But look at the light. Look at the, you know, the light in the background and the shine coming through. With the, you know, all the dust and shit
Yeah,
in there.
you get very lucky when you got these lovely big sources, and then on the other side it's just complete darkness. I mean, Bradford Young, I've watched a lot of his podcasts, and I'm a massive fan of Gordon Willis, the Prince of Darkness, and we were lucky to exploit that. You know, we could get really dark on this one.
And this music, man.
Yeah.
This music kicks in so good. And
It's
this,
like Marilyn Manson on steroids, you know. Like,
even this ramp, fucking hell, we did this so many times. Johnny was struggling. By this time, Johnny was like struggling so much to get up this hill. We did it so many times. It's quite hectic, and it's steeper than it looks as well. I love the shot as well. We used this in the trailer as well.
yeah, that's where the movie helps you. You're running with a 135mm, you know, full tilt.
And this, for me, with the whole thing with the kids, the little reference for me was like that, you know, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, you know, where they set all those, you know, kids free at the end of the movie. I love this. It sounds like a chainsaw. Johnny's voice sounds like a chainsaw. And I mean, how long did it take to shoot this? It didn't take long. How long was it?
It was an hour, 2 hours?
Yeah, like an hour or two. We had to work so quick.
Yeah, but
And-
we're rushing on a schedule there. I think
Yeah,
we
well,
unfortunately dropped a shot, which I
Yeah,
think...
Gareth wanted the top shot. I also wanted it as well.
No, you didn't.
I did. but while we were shooting this, you know, it's this whole big epic fight scene, and also after this, we still had to shoot, you know, all the kids, and it was getting late, and they also needed to get home. And what was cool about this chainsaw fight going on, it was so good, you know, to add the scene with the kids in, just to you know, to amp up the whole scene, and it just brings that tension more throughout, and the stakes are higher, and it just adds so much more, you know, cutting back and forth.
And we opted not to go too handheld on that. We wanted it to feel a little bit 70s, 80s.
Yeah, and even this, we had one take at this, one shot on Johnny and one shot on Barry. This is it.
And here's a little dub to Tarantino with the gold at the bottom. You'll see that there's a gold reflection over there. So we're seeing what's in the briefcase.
What's in the briefcase? And this.
Is that what's in the briefcase? Shouldn't have opened it, mate.
And
Oh,
Barry,
yes.
and when we were shooting this, I was saying to Gary, "Keep your eyes open, keep your," and he was trying to keep his eyes
Oh, I
open
love
so
that.
much. But yeah, I love the blood. We
Oh,
also wanted
Stephen
that.
King in here, man. I mean,
And we
come
also
on,
wanted
man.
that close up, but we didn't get time. You know, I wanted to see that chainsaw like rip through his body.
But now, how rad is what you've done here? Is you've got this angry, blood-covered alien out, and you flip it into ET. I think it's brilliant,
Yeah.
man. I love it. I
Believe it
love
or not, this shot for me was the hardest shot of the movie. We did this over, and not even exaggerating, 70 to maybe 80 times. And it was just Barry coming around the corner and doing
Ryan-
that smile.
Ryan was
I
in
felt like Stanley Kubrick going, do it again.
David Fincher. I was going to say that.
Yeah, dude. It was just, all I wanted was to hear what the girls turn his head and turn his shoulders. But he was like doing this whole flip thing. So we did, and I was like, I was doing it for him. I was like, yeah, just watch me, I'll do it. And he's like, Ryan, I think I'm doing that. I was like, Gary, you're fucking definitely not doing that. Do it again. And he was like, let me have one more go. And I was like, Gary, it's like the 78th take. You're not going to get it on the 79th take. But we had one in there, and we used it.
I love these two characters, these two detectives.
What's up to
They
Andrew
are
Rue?
Andrew Rue, Hope Tangata.
Yeah, I want to work with this guy again more. Andrew, he's also really, really good. This reference, believe it or not, was actually something about Mary. And I just remember that scene where, you know, Ben Stiller was, I think it was that like, at that like petrol station out in the middle of nowhere, and he takes a leak, and then the helicopter comes, and all those people, you know, he gets accused for, I think in his car there was that dead body, and he thought, he's like, oh, have you picked up hitchhikers before and all this? And he was like, yeah. And then the cops are thinking that he's actually killed like many people before. So that's what this scene was actually like based on.
Yeah, they've already made up their mind.
Yeah.
You can check the two brown pieces of wood at the back on the background. That was a big one for me. Like, I really had to find the right place
Yeah,
to find. Do you remember? And it worked.
we shot this in a church, actually. Yeah.
I've actually shot here like quite a few times. I actually shot another scene very much with two cops.
But you can almost
With this
feel like
background.
they're two pieces of wood, and they're like really imposing on him.
And
You know.
credits.
But there's so much comedy in this, seeing what they're saying, because really it's just them having a conversation. It's not even at Barry or to Barry.
Sending you to the loony bin.
Loony pen.
Not very good police work, I'd
No,
say.
I'd say that
Not
you
enough
don't want to get
research
arrested
there.
in Cape Town, guys.
Like all those girls could have said, nah, he was actually really cool to us. He saved us. This is actually Gary's
Case closed.
cousin here on the left there.
Cousin Chris Ross.
Yeah.
So we shot this in this semi-abandoned hospital in
Where's
Cape
the Chris
Town.
Barnard Hospital?
Yeah. Shot everything in the hospital in one day. This is our record for the most pages shot in
so-
one day.
Yeah,
We shot
everything that
10
you see
pages.
in here is all shot in one day, which is nuts. We actually had 90 people on set that day.
And we had call back with the Trinity, so we had, you know, camera shifting from tripod to handheld to Trinity. It was a good day. Well, a fun day, man.
Yeah, I this was a great day of filming. I had so much fun. It was such a great day, and I remember also, you know, just having 90 people on set and seeing all these creatives and people that were passionate and people that wanted to be there. It was awesome just to see all these people go and this film's going to be great. And it was just it was beautiful to see all these people just loving what they're doing, you know.
Now, Barry at this stage, you know, we'd like to think he's kind of traumatized,
Yeah, but traumatized.
from what just happened. You know, he had to chainsaw a dude in the chest, and he's sort of a little bit more lethargic than he usually is.
And then all my references for this was obviously like, you know, like Nurse Ratched, you know, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and also Joe Vass. He plays his character's called Martini, who in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was Danny DeVito.
Coming up here, we got Andre Lombard playing such a wonderful stereotypical doctor.
We had a bunch of students come and help us out on this day, and it was great to give back. But geez, come on, boys, you took so long to set these two Kino Flow bulbs up in there. I think there was like 6 of
remember
you, and you finally got it. So well done. Looks good.
We actually constantly say that. Me and James sitting in the car constantly, randomly. John Doe.
There he is, Doc.
I really like this Doctor character because he seems so nice and warm. And then at the end of the scene, he's just like, ah, fuck it.
He's
Walks
the,
away.
Yeah, the warden, the bad warden.
Yeah.
Now we're going to look after you. We're going to look after you as best we can.
He's like, I've just killed all. Well, they think obviously he's just killed all these people, and it's like, yeah, we're still gonna look after you and take care of you. You know, you're not right in the head, but it's okay. And then it's like, keep an eye on him.
So again, like a couple visual decisions in terms of lensing. Would we want to observe him or would we want to exist with him? And right now we're observing and we're seeing where he's landed up. So there were all these times that we had to find motivation to figure out this, you know, the viewpoint.
And we wanted to slow it down. Remember we were saying, like, when he comes into the mental institute, you know, we just wanted to slow it down, let him walk down those corridors and up the lift. And his Sean Cameron Michael, great friend, amazing actor, I love him. He's doing so well, so proud of him. I mean, he was in 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. He was in Blood Drive.
MacGyver.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking everything. He's doing so
I
well.
feel this is where we transition space-wise. Bang.
What I love about this scene is we did a few takes of this, but the one we actually used in the cut was all one take.
Yeah.
All one
Yeah, it's all
performance.
one take. Even though we cut away from it, but it was all one take that we used.
I was at a place where I would have normally gone for the 35 as I did here on Gary, but I started to realize that Sean's character is bending further out of reach, and it really felt good on the 10 mil. I mean, this is a 10 mil Zeiss. In movie making, not very frequent, you know, lens that you wouldn't use it that frequently. So again, we just had these awesome opportunities, and we capitalized.
And even, you know, this part for Sean, he's actually playing kind of the same character that I did a short film called The Time Travelers. Same name, basically the same character. But what I love about Sean's character in this is that he's got so much range. He's got so much range in this scene as an actor. It's great. And Joe Vasta, Martini, he's great. Joe always reminds me of, he's got that Stanley Kubrick. He just needs that that old like 80s bomber jacket with like the inner orange bit, a little fluff on around the hood.
It is Stanley, bro.
This is Martini. Martini, don't be rude. Introduce yourself, man.
How's it, Larry? Larry the sandwich maker.
It's Barry, man. You fucking idiot. He's always carrying on about the fucking sandwiches and onions.
So Sean's character actually guesses Barry's name correctly. So,
Yeah. So I said to Sean, I was like, you know, go through the. So obviously, like with this scene, I wrote like 6 pieces of dialogue, 6 or 7 pieces of dialogue for the whole movie for certain characters. You know, and then Sean threw some extra little bits in there. But I said to Sean, you know, it's actually funny because there's the time travel element in it, and maybe he's a bit like crazy, but maybe he's not so crazy. That I said, I think when you guess the names, just throw out Gary's name, because that's the whole thing with the character. I named it Barry. It's like I can't call Fried Gary. It's very similar to Gary and Barry.
We're gonna get to the port. We're gonna get out of here, man. So you came on the right day.
So his partner that he's talking about as well was also in that short film, in the Ryan Kruger universe of with Graham.
the Ryan Kruger cinematic universe.
It's very cinematic terms.
It's strange how like you have so much like real estate on that lens, but you feel so trapped.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Show's about to begin, man.
But I mean, that room's perfect. All the converging lines, that blue. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, this film it's designed to make you feel uncomfortable. It's designed for you to go on this trip with Barry and also as Barry. You know, there's those 2 sides to it.
They used to give us onion sandwiches, mister.
Yeah, and we approached it. I mean, for me, the lighting schematics were quite simple. I wanted nice, soft, flooding lamps. So I actually walked around tubes single tubes, and there were a lot of them, and we moved them strategically around as we moved.
So in this scene, I thought it was funny. We did this a few times, and the warden, nurse or whatever you want to call it, he wasn't getting the line right, and it felt a bit too staged. And I remember just whispering into Sean's head, just like as soon as he comes around the corner, stop him before he even gets to say his line, and just grab him, which worked.
Yeah.
And I love this.
This gun throwing shot, you remember
I
that
love
was
this. It's great.
Here we go.
Here we go, people.
Again, Carl Schmidt just killing
I
it
love,
on the
love these shots.
on
Here
the
we are on
Trinity
the
with the steady
Trinity.
cam.
And the guy in the background on the floor, that's Andrew. Little Andrew, and he's also there in the background in the wheelchair.
Initially, the treatment we discussed, we're going to have a wider lens walking through here, but yeah, again, we got forced onto a more cinematic portrayal. So I think we're sitting here at 35mm.
And also like Sean's character with all the, the helicopter noises and
Oh.
explosions, and then there's this some poo-poo that I decided to put in there. And that was Brandon. He was also the DJ earlier on in the movie.
Yeah, very talented musician and sound recordist on location sound.
Great pooper.
And this is actually the same corridor. We just flipped it around and changed certain little signs and stuff.
This was shot at the Christian Barnard Hospital, and if you actually look up at the roof, you'll see that once in a while there's a missing roof tile. We actually broke the hospital up. We didn't care, and we received a massive bill afterwards for all the damages that we caused. But fuck it, they only look after people there. So
That's not strictly true.
That's not true to say that.
Here's Sean's action hero speech.
Yeah, action hero speech. Save yourself.
Tell him that Ronald can't make it, okay? Mr. Lawrence, tell him Ronald can't make it. Go.
So if you listen very closely, you can hear all of these war sound effects, like bombs going off, flares, everything, and this is because we're inside Sean's mind, and suddenly we're boom
back into reality.
What are you doing? Come on.
There's a Pope and Dennis.
Martini, calm down, calm down.
Yeah, Pope was basically my neighbor. He lived quite a few years, just like.
A funny thing about when we were shooting the scene, this is outside an actual hospital, but we had a permit for the street, but obviously we were...
Yeah, somebody saw Gary with his little apron on and shit, and they actually thought he was... They all came out, they thought he was like escaping from the hospital.
They sent some people out to go grab him, and we were like, no, we need him, we need to keep him, we need to finish
he's
this
our lead.
movie.
And Graham Clark, very good friend of mine, love him. I've worked with Graham for so many years, and it's so weird because when I was a kid, I was a big fan of like Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee movies, and there was this one Brandon Lee movie called Laser Mission. I think in the UK it was called Soldier of Fortune, and Graham was like the main bad guy, and I must have watched that film like 1,000 times. So when I came to South Africa in like 2008 and 9, he was actually on the same age as me, and I didn't know his name, but I knew his face. And it was so weird how things do that whole big turnaround, and we ended up shooting a music video together, and that was like 10 years ago, and now I've worked with him like 20, 30 times, and he ended up being a good friend of mine, and it's crazy, but I love Graham. It's such a character, great look. He's got that like Clint Eastwood, he should be in like a Western or something. He's got a great visual look.
We've got a really awesome DIY rear projection set up here for the car driving.
Yeah, and all these references was from like Natural Born Killers, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Whoa.
Yeah, like a lot of intended funkiness, we looked at like simulating it like correctly, and it just didn't fit the piece. So we crafted a feel there and a look.
I love this. I just thought it was so funny.
Gary's.
like I wanted to explore this like a little bit more. You know, I loved. I guess that's why we did the music video. You know, after this, we did a music video for this projection and stuff as well.
I mean, if we could have got that gyro, you know, under the car, that would have.
Well,
that really would have.
Yeah.
Next
I mean,
one.
there was actually a scene where it was meant to be in the middle of this. It was an animation scene that didn't end up working out. Maybe we'll put it in the director's cut. But it's still, you know, you had the sound effect of the car crashing, and you know, now Barry just wandering around, and again now he's starting to have those withdrawals and getting weaker. He's getting more paler.
This scene is a testament to the dedication of Gary Green, because this is a real highway.
You're quite right, James. I mean, like, a lot of people think that getting out there and making a movie is all glitz and glam. But one thing I've always told people is you can't smell what a film set, you know, or location smells
It's
like.
like pieces of shit like lying everywhere.
You remember that long cigar? It was actually impressive. I've got a photo if any of you want to see it. I'll actually send it to you.
Gareth was so impressed that he took a photo of this piece of shit. That
It
was
is
like
a
a
Winston.
cigar. It's like
It is a Winston #1. Now Ryan comes up to me. We're shooting all the other stuff, and he's like, "Hey, bro, we need to shoot this."
And then that was actually in the studio, you know, crawling through the box where we extended this whole big long box, and this is my David Lynch sort of like reference here, and this was actually in Monica's little corridor that we just for the art directors that we just put up all this cardboard.
Yeah, great work by Monica and the crew. This is
So
absolutely awesome.
For here, I use lighting obviously to make it feel like that corridor is just carrying on and on. So we're using shadows and revealing him in different, you know, amounts of contrast. But this is, and then to flip over here, we go to hard front light, which I normally wouldn't do, but it definitely it definitely works.
That's our Bad Boy Bubby reference with the cling film.
Again, me.
And that was James. That was James and James together. We just shot it twice.
Lots of people ask what the scene means, but you know, I think it's better left unsaid.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
It's our little secret.
But Sadiq is that character that comes in and out of it, and it's always like he's the in-betweener of the aliens and the humans, but it's also trying to give Barry those messages that, you know, he needs to come home.
He's wanted back home.
And I love this like little, when you hear it, all the little thing with Papa in the background. I don't know, it just sounds like these like little Star Wars characters, little aliens talking in the background.
Yeah, you see right.
And Philip Hotz, the old guy there, I love him. He's like my granddad. Like, I've worked with him for like 11 years. He's literally like family to me. Again, he's one of those people just like Gary. He's just such a character. And even now with Hazer, with this music, so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Like, again, Hazer, fuck dude, he really made this film. It had to be perfect. That just the tone and the feel of the film to get, you know, that cult style film that I wanted to make.
This is a very famous location in Cape Town, the Cutoff Highway. It's basically an unfinished highway in the middle of town, and everyone shoots their car chase sequences there, and we just had to pop it in.
This is a very, very big day for a man in particular, Rhett Mullins on the Steadicam. He did a full day on his Steady. I know he had a purple shoulder at the end of the day, but well done, bro. Like, it came out well, eh?
So that was Barry almost like thinking, I'm going to commit suicide. But where is she in the world? And, you know, and he has second thoughts and he turns around and he goes on his way.
And that was the last shoot day.
It
That
was,
the very
yeah.
last thing we shot.
It was, you know what? It was a great way to end the shoot on that.
Here's Hakeem K. Kazim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this guy has been in like fucking everything as well. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Guys, he's the voice of Fresca.
Yeah, which is big.
Yeah.
That is
I didn't know that was like before. I think, you know.
Tastes like nothing. Dude, that's him.
I had a giant cardboard cutout of him in my bedroom when I was a kid. I told him that. He thought it was a bit weird.
Bro, he was a standout character in my childhood. He really was, man. Well done.
I love that. Such a comedy shot.
Now we have Bia coming back.
You saw that C-stand there, all the filmmakers, I'm sure.
Was there a C-stand there?
Yeah.
No way.
Swear to God.
Kept that quiet, didn't they? I fucked up. And I love this because now Barry's knocked out, and they were like, "Who's this?" It's Barry, but he doesn't look like Barry. But
This is another one of those
it's just like
laughing
man
days.
child.
Very hard to remain serious.
What were you doing on the streets last night?
Again, I love the music. Love the music in this scene.
And
Now Barry's all worn out and tired, and
Bia, who plays the sex worker, she actually did Barry's makeup here because, as Ryan
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
earlier, she has experience in doing makeup and body painting. And
This was a very intense setup for me. I was dealing with moving light. So at the beginning of the day here we're looking great, but now we've got this evolving backlight. So our contrast was very hard to maintain.
yeah. So we actually shot. We shot this. We had some pickups for this, didn't we? For this scene, and also I thought it was funny when I came with the idea with the baby Barry. I was like, well, me and James was like, well, what is he gonna wear? And I was like, well, she's not gonna have any like guy clothes, so we just give her give Barry one of
because
the tops.
he's like 3 days old.
Yeah,
I mean, she
she's
hasn't
like,
had
yeah,
time.
It's like 3 days old, and that's it. Milky milk.
I love that look there.
Yeah,
I
and
love,
I love that look where Barry's like, what the fuck? You know, and that's again like well direct. I mean, the whole movie, everybody's improvising, but the only person that's not really improvising is Gary, because it was like I had to like work very close with Gary as he's not a trained actor. But I mean, with this character, he was having a lot of fun with it. But it would always be like, copy me, Gary, do this face, give me this face, give me that face, so I would have room for editing for different reactions.
I'm just
like,
amazed.
Oh, Goomba there, just bouncing off.
I'm just amazed how patient Bia's character is. She is the nicest
that's why she got
person
the
in this
whiskey there and
film
everything.
by far.
And I love this. Some people laugh at this and some people don't get it. Well, you know, obviously it's his kid, but it's just funny. Like if in real life, if somebody said, "Oh, that's your kid," you would have a heart attack as well. You know, be like, "You do know, you know your kid, right?" And he's like, "Oh, fucking hell!" And he just has this heart attack. I do exactly the same. And again, you know, with all these scenes, it's just everything's like unpredictable. You don't know. It's one of those films where you can't really go to the toilet or go have a little drink quick and come back, because you'll be like, how the fuck did he get into the hospital? How did this happen? And that was another thing that, you know, the movie's designed to make you feel uncomfortable. The movie's designed, you know, to
Keep you guessing.
Yeah, keep you guessing, and it's unpredictable. I try to make it as unpredictable as possible.
And another South African star, man. Wow.
Yeah, Grant Swanby.
I couldn't believe it when I got to shoot him as well. I used to watch him on Isidingo. I used to love that.
Gareth giving him all his tricks that he learned.
Yeah, man. But he's really good. Like,
Yeah.
Again, you know, there's these great
And
minor
then-
characters. that
And
just
then
make the
lined with
world feel
Chanel. I know my wife watched it, and when I turned her on, she had literally cracked a tear, and that was a big moment for me, because she did. She said that Chanel's performance that she's about to deliver now was, it was the heart of the whole movie. You know. I mean,
It's
do you
me
agree with
again
me?
there,
Like,
and the-
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
room.
I mean, it was power, dude. I think we shot it twice. Are you talking about when Chanel starts to cry?
yeah, right now
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
it. Man.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is like.
I think we shot that twice. I didn't want to overshoot it.
But you know, we've got such a dynamic story sort of unfolding, and we've got like, you know, the observer, the sex worker, but our recent mother, and we've got like the wife who, you know, has children, but we're all feeling like, what's going on with Barry? You
Yeah.
know, like everybody's intrigued.
And this was also like obviously the other ET reference. You know, he's gone all white and he needs to go home. Again,
Even that shot,
music.
you see the layering of the confusion with the partners. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Because this is funny about these two characters. They don't know each other or anything yet. And I mean, you know, realistically, this is Barry's wife, and the prostitute is the sex worker. Sorry, let's correct myself. And the sex worker is you know she has Barry's baby, and they don't know. It's like a soap.
But
You know,
it's
like
just
a-
like, when
it's
do you ever
literally like a-
have
like
that?
a
Normally
soapy
you'll
story.
have one reaction shot in a moment like this,
Yeah.
but suddenly we're dealing with two, you know?
Yeah.
So shooting this, I was like, shit, so what do I do now? Who do I give priority to? And luckily we have such good actresses that I think they handled
Oh,
that.
she
you know?
nailed this
Yeah.
so much. Like you know what? You just like you really feel for her. You know. I've had two people tell me about this scene and the end scene, and they actually cried. And
That's what I'm saying, my
you know,
wife cried,
Yeah,
man.
and that's what I'm
She
saying.
cried,
It's
bro,
it's
like-
hectic. I mean, to be able to do that and make people feel like that, amazing.
Look at this, guys. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Go Chanel.
Just when things were starting to get better.
And she's been rocking it. The South African scene with the movie, she's doing so well.
And such a pleasure to work with again.
But everything's just right. You know, she's delivering everything so well and emotionally, and then the music, it's just
but
it's just
Hayes is
everything.
there. Hayes has got us
Yeah.
on a cloud again, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
It's the surprising emotional hook of the movie that you don't see coming. But
Yeah,
when
no,
it comes,
it is though.
It
It
hits
really
you.
is.
And now you experience with both.
I mean, some people think this film might be just like the shock factor, and it really isn't. It's just that journey. The concept is what it is, but the thing is, there's a lot of heart to this movie, with the the relationship of her and the people that watch it, and I've mentioned it many times, and yeah, she's the heart of the movie. Even Beer's crying.
So the scene coming up here is a Neon Genesis Evangelion reference. For all you anime fans out there.
I loved how his white reflects onto his face when he crosses his arms. I love that.
We
You see
wanted
it-
to get all of the previous characters back into the scene, all applauding Barry, but we went for the double Barry in the end. Classic double Barry.
Classic double Barry. Double Barry shotgun.
And no. Hello?
And I love Gary's face on this. It just looks like an orangutan or something.
But like now
It's all
everybody
orangutan.
everybody gets brought up to speed now. And this is when we're all part of it. We're all part of whatever needs to happen.
Yeah, and from this little visual effect shot there, it's like she knows everything. Everything makes sense now. She knows not the husband, and he points. He needs to go home.
Gotta get you out of here.
If only you could do that in all movies.
Yeah, just shove some cool visual effects looking in. Everything makes sense. It's all good.
What are you doing? The fuck are you? A very long story. Please help me. We need to get out of here. Come on.
And again, I know I keep saying it. I'm sorry, but I love this music that Hayes is bringing in now. I
Yeah.
love it.
Then we have Brett Williams'
lost
character
without you,
returning there.
And I don't know if people actually hear what he says there. He's like, "Bazza, you look like an old piece of dog shit, mate."
You
And
wouldn't
it's like
believe
this,
that-
like this white makeup.
No, the last shot was on the Segway, do you remember?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
A handheld Segway.
Yeah, you were rocking that like back and forth the whole time.
Here, I went deliberately hot on the frontal lights. I just felt it really worked with the 80s theme that we had generated, and it linked us into this, the descending of. Linked it to Barry being sent home.
So again, we're returning to the same location where Barry first arrived on Earth. I
Yeah,
guess
so this
it's,
was shot on the exact same day, wasn't it?
This is like the pickup location for the aliens. And I've thought about this for a long time, guys, but I think this is my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's the atomic. So we used like I mentioned earlier. I think I had a 4K mole beam pointing straight down, but then I supplemented that with additional red sources on the ground. But up at the top, that flashing is an atomic. I think it's an atomic 3000, which is a huge strobe fixture. when we set it up early on the day, we struck it and it blew our Jenny. And so we were actually behind schedule by I think about 4 or 5 hours. And I
Nothing
started
major.
to get pretty chilled.
And the visual effects for the spaceship, that's my Close Encounters reference.
Well
Also,
done, Blake Prinsloo. Amazing
Blake,
work
right,
on this scene.
And even this was, you know, it's the E.T. goodbye scene, but also one of my other main references was John Carpenter's Starman. And I love that little look from Chanel there,
Yeah.
where it's like Bea goes in for the hug because she probably thinks she's more important because she has a kid with him, and meanwhile, you know, she doesn't know that that's my wife.
I'm loving how the HMI, because obviously we colored the characters' reverses here. We've got red gel on them, but Gary's shot in the background, you'll notice that there's a blue. That's the true color of the HMI, and then Blake's done a great bleed of red, which just brings it into this nice cross-color temperature. Yeah, it's really involved. Nice.
Even these scenes as well with the, you know, I said to Gary, you know, it's like, you know, when you kissed her, I want you to look back at Bea to see if she's jealous after kissing. Spock. Every time me and James see that shot, we always just think of Spock from Star Trek for some reason. I think it's like the Fringe.
You see the White Walker there?
White Walker.
I love that smile from Gary there. That just sums up
Yeah.
the character and where he's landed up in his arc.
Yeah. I said to Gary, you know, you must just turn back and just crack this big fat smile and then go really fucking serious all of a sudden.
Yeah, guys, that's sitting next to you guys right now. I'll tell you, I'm very proud of this, man. We did a...
Yeah.
So,
It is a great scene.
I hate to float our boat there, but we did an exceptional job here.
Yeah.
It really feels...
And there's Baby Barry, what we threw in. We nearly didn't put him in there, but just for like time-wise, and I was like, he's got to be there, dude. Baby Barry's got to be there. I love Baby Barry. And I love that visual effects,
yeah.
Blake. Love it.
Great
Close
space.
encounters with
It's
the
like
blue
a
there.
weird sea urchin.
Or a sombrero.
You wanna go for the dop? Sure.
Shame, I pulled Julian up there. He had been windsurfing the whole day. You had to get that top shot. You had to wait to the last.
I love that, like, thud.
And here it is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was such a journey. All of us. I mean, I've said this a lot of times in interviews and stuff, but I went through such a hard time, depression, sepsis, nearly dying, and everything. And I got so much from this movie. It saved my life in so many ways. I gained a best friend, James. Right, another good friend.
Best friends. Best friends.
And it really did, like, it saved my life in so many ways, just to do something so creative, and also to get my first feature. But now, James, you said, you know, your favorite scene is that end scene there. That's your favorite scene.
For me, that sums up the movie. That's the movie in a nutshell. You know, it's got a lot of heart, it's got a lot of comedy in it, it's got a lot of weirdness in it, and it just rounds it up for me. I love it.
And yourself, Gareth?
Oh man,
Your
I mean,
favorite scene?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to call a favorite scene. I'd have to agree with James. The wrap up is phenomenal because making the film and having to try get all of those small little guys into one bag, and then suddenly get the massive payoff. I think the story combined with the visuals, yeah, I'd say as he wakes up in the hospital to the end is probably where I'm most.
I definitely
love
do.
it.
I love, like, the alien abduction at the beginning. It's
Yeah.
very me, and I do love the scene at the end, and that's why, if you remember me saying to you, it has to be red.
Yeah.
It has to be red. I wanted that, you know, that very
Damn,
80s.
I couldn't choose.
vibe there.
I couldn't choose one or the other. I would
Yeah.
say that the abduction, the alien. I mean, all the alien.
I love the
stuff.
feel though, like what, you know, with the end scene. I just love it. Like you said, it just comes together, and it's sad, and it's like, oh, he's going home. you know?
Yeah, but the VFX is just like not overdone, and so
Yeah.
we've got like this nice organic feel, which has just been polished with elements of VFX. And I think that's what filmmaking should be. You know, we shouldn't be not shooting stuff because we don't have it. We should be shooting it and then evaluating it and polishing it. You know, like, yeah. Good luck to anybody else out there.
Yeah.
And
Have
I
a
just
try.
want
Have a
to
go.
Yeah.
and I just want to say thank you to everybody who worked on this film, all the cast, all the crew,
Absolutely.
all the
Yeah.
favors, all the people who helped us out.
Absolutely, we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much to everybody, and everybody was absolutely amazing. Brought their A game, and everybody, you know, we surround ourselves with people that we admire and people that also want to learn, and also the people that are keen to love their craft and to be involved.
Yeah, there are definitely some people out there that love their craft, man. It was cool to see that you guys are out there.
This movie ran on passion. It was ran on passion and creativity, and that's why it felt right to do this film. I could have done so many other different fucking films, but it just seemed so right that this was the one. It just felt right.
Yeah, James, Ryan, thanks for having me on board, bro. Like, what a journey.
Yeah,
I came on to shoot a couple of days and ended up doing the whole thing. And like to shoot a feature like this with no official prep.
Gareth only got on 3 days before. Our original DP dropped us, and then Gareth got on like 1 or 2, 3 days before. That's
dude,
how quick it was.
My first day, I can remember Monica walking up to me and said, like, cool, what are you doing? And I just said, like, I don't know. And everybody was like, oh, fuck, we doomed.
But I couldn't imagine shooting it any other way now.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
You did an amazing job. Well done, Gareth.
All the challenges combined to create this movie, which I really think is like unlike anything that has ever been made.
And well done to you, James, as well. Like, fuck. Dude.
Well done to you, Ryan.
No, James, well done to you, dude. Like, you know, because no prep and because you can approach, you know, the cat with you can skin the cat in many ways. Like, yeah, there were a lot of times where you helped me sort of consider budget and choose the right way through things, which, yeah, man, in these times and scenarios, it's tough.
Well, guys, this is James C. Williamson, producer.
This is Ryan Kruger, the director, signing off.
This is Gareth Place saying later.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.